think it's a war. It's a war.
It's a cold war.
It's a cold war. We have to fight this war, right?
Yeah.
It's a war, man. I feel like, you're right. Vocalists are not receiving the respect that they should, especially, specifically in South Africa. Because I feel like the industry, when it comes to that specifically, is still very narrow. Like, it's still very narrow. You look at abroad, everybody eats. Like, everybody.
Yeah. I think in music, image is very important, and as you expressed. And what I've seen as well is you take great pride in how you actually even look.
Yeah, I do.
Your imagery there is on point. Why is that important as well to you?
Well, for me, image is image is everything.
Yeah.
For me, because how you present yourself says a lot about you. Like how you appear in space and time says a lot about you. Looking good as a musician, as an artist, I think should be top of mind when it comes to branding. You know.
Yes.
So for me, I play around with vintage clothing to set myself apart and whatnot. I always try to differentiate myself. You know, so it's just about how people perceive one as an artist. You know, people will take you seriously when you take yourself seriously.
Of course.
I take myself seriously because I love what I do mostly. It's for the love of what I do. And for the love of my brand as well. Like little things can diminish your brand, man. Like little things. So that attention to detail with regards to how you dress, how you present yourself, how you project yourself in general, adds value to your craft as well.
And I think even more so when your image has to be in sync. With your music,
what you do, like it's a downfall when your music is great and then you appear, it's like yo, it's gone on though. It's gone on though. No, I can't. It needs to make sense. Even because my music is on national radio, international radio, and whatnot. I can't be appearing as but this guy. I can't be appearing looking all raggedy and stuff. It won't make sense. It's people I can see people being disappointed to say, does he really know how good his music is to look like that? So the way I put myself together most of the time just blends in perfectly with the art. You know what I mean? It just makes sense.
And of course, if you want to have a long established career, there has to be a brand behind it.
Exactly.
So that people can identify with you.
Yeah, let's talk about endorsements, for example. How are you going to get endorsements coming to you and approaching you to say, we feel that you could be the right representative for my brand and whatnot.
If you
brand extension, thank you. Yeah, exactly that. Brand extension is key, because music can open a lot of other doors. Apart from the music itself. So I don't want to do anything that can tamper with anything else that can come towards my brand. So I always
and just further on that. Talking about what avenues your music can open. You've got your own recording company, or you signed to your own recording company.
Yes.
Tell me more about that.
Well, initially I was signed to Raps Bafui's label, and there came a point where I just felt like I had accumulated enough experience in the music industry for me to can now come up, establish my own stable. I think also independence. I teamed up with a guy called Masasa Macheta, who is my business partner on the label side, and he's just he's got a good ear for music, so I teamed up with the right people, and I knew that with my experience and my expertise and whatnot, I was doing a lot of things already myself. I was already liaising with PR. I was already putting myself, so I'm but I can do this, instead of giving somebody the responsibility. Like I wanted to take some form of accountability, but I made sure that I teamed up with like people that I know, like have my best interest at heart to push the brand even further. And so now, as you said, I have a label called Moon SA Records, which is where I'm releasing my music now. I've got a solid team, wonderful team. Like, you know, I'm very happy. Like, you know, it's some sort of like weight lift. There's some sort of like weight lifted off my shoulders, and there's a lot of accountability. As I said, whatever happens, like we are responsible for whatever happens. Whatever doesn't happen, we are still responsible. So there's nobody else we can blame but ourselves. You know. So I'm happy with the team that I have now, because I've seen the elevation. Ever since I became independent.
What was I know there's a big talk in music circles about independence, especially on owning. Was that a big thought for you when you started your company and started to chart your own way?
Absolutely. Another thing I can even advise musicians out there and whatnot, it's not a bad thing to be signed to a label, but just make sure that like you are like aware of what you're getting yourself into. Because we've experienced like people that have signed like contracts with fine prints that were not proofread properly and stuff like that. You end up like, that's why we've seen musicians dying broke. Like we've seen that. And are we like we've evolved, man. Like we live in the modern era. Like information is available at our disposal. Like why not just equip yourself with the knowledge and the, like, you know, just read everything. Just make sure like you proofread everything. Like so it was a big concern because musicians previously would get like the raw end of the stick, you know what I mean? Whereas a lot of percentages are going elsewhere, you know? So it was a big deal in me, like being independent. Because I remember sitting with my business partner and he said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to start my own label. And he then helped me with establishing that. And dude, I've never looked back and I'm happy. Like, you know, it's not easy. But I went into it knowing that I'm willing and able to give it my all. You know, and at the end of the day, like it just makes more business sense to go this route. It might be the longer route, but the returns are worth it in the end.
And returns are lifetime in that sense. So
exactly.
So last week, well, not last week, I think on Friday, there was a big topic on the socials regarding Fagaza.
Oh, I missed it.
Right, but I'm sure you're aware of Fagaza.
I missed it completely.
I'm saying Fagaza as the platform, the streaming platform where people can
the pirating sites.
What's your take on those things?
My take is piracy will never end. Piracy will never end. That's the truth. That's the honest truth. What I've learned is whatever we do, piracy will always be there. The moment somebody can easily buy your song, right, and feel like this song is so good, like I want everyone to hear it, and post it. You can't stop piracy. How many people are you gonna chase? You know what I mean? How many people? Your target market, your genuine target audience will always be your supporters that go on buying sites to buy your music.
Like the streaming services.
Exactly. They'll stream your music legit, knowing that it adds value. Like, you know, what people don't understand out there, that this is our bread and butter. And piracy kills us in the end because there's a lot of work that we put in. Like studio time, you have to pay for it. Mixing, you have to pay for mixing. Mastering, you have to pay for mastering. Production, you have to pay for production. You understand the investment that goes into making a song. There's still marketing, there's still PR, there's still a lot. It's a lot. We are drained into it. We put in our all to get music out to the masses, and then people just go on, you know, these platforms where it's not legitimate, man. Like, you know, and they just get your music like that. You know? At first, I used to get frustrated a lot when I started releasing music, when some of my songs would leak. Like, I used to get so frustrated. I used to go back to the label I was with and be like, no, this song is out for free, like, and whatnot. It's not supposed to be like this and whatnot. Unless it's better if we musicians deliberately decide to give people a project for free.
Yes.
Like if it's me that decides I'm giving this project away for free,
Yeah.
I have strategic reasons why I'm doing that.
Yes, of course.
But a song that I've put on digital platforms that are selling and whatnot, like it's uncalled for somebody to just put it out there. You know what I mean? Like the damage that it does, and people will still be asking you for music. They'll still be like, when is your next release? When is my next release? When you took away like my bread from my table. You know what I mean? How am I supposed to pay for the next one that you are demanding when you went and got it on Fagaza? Like and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like,
but on the point where you say it's most probably not gonna stop, and
it won't stop.
The one strategy, like you say, is that you need to maybe get the core audience and that core support fans, you know, your stands, and grow it. All right.
And not just that as well. Don't make digital sales your main source of income from your music. There's still a lot of things that you can do around your music.
Yes.
Let that be part of it, not your main. Because if you're going to focus on that, like then you're not making sense. You know what I mean? Because
you're at a risk. You know? They're saying in sales and all the diversification or something like that, where you get something there, you get something there, you get so if something goes down, as now you're talking about, we're talking about streaming, you've also got other means of income to actually sustain you, you know?
Yeah, it's that saying that don't plant your eggs in one basket. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot. We spoke about endorsements.
Yes.
Like brand yourself. Like you get endorsements. Endorsements are a paycheck as well.
Yeah.
You know, there's events, there's gigs. You can do your own events if you capture an audience. The biggest thing is capturing an audience, because people that will always support you no matter what.
Yes.
You know, if I do an event next week, get a venue, there's people that are gonna come and actually support you. You know, I think a lot of artists make a lot of money from events. That's why even with this new normal thing, it killed us. You know what I mean? I haven't made an income from gigs this year at all. I had to cancel gigs. I was gonna do a show at Meslo in Maboneng, where I was gonna invite about 500 people and just perform the old material, the material that people don't know as well, and just give people a projection as to what they can expect and whatnot. So because of what happened with COVID and the lockdown and whatnot, I've had to cancel that as well. So it's been a rough year, but that also teaches us a lot. Like, don't cage yourself to the world is digital now. Like, you know, I started doing online shows and whatnot. I did a lot of online shows.
You have to be creative.
But it shouldn't have taken a pandemic for us to actually get to that. You know what I mean? Because the world, we live in a world where convenience is everything. People are just convenienced, like based. Like everybody just wants everything that can be easily accessible and whatnot. You know?
And tell me, do you think vocalists get the respect that they should get? Because I know where is that coming from is, you know, especially in the house music and so forth, the guys that are well known and are put forward are the DJs, you know, and sometimes the producers. Do you think as a vocalist you guys should be spoken, or even maybe should take the lead on those conversations when people talk about songs and all of that?
I think it's a war. It's a war.
It's a cold war.
It's a cold war. We have to fight this war, right?
Yeah.
It's a war, man. I feel like, you know, you're right. Vocalists are not receiving the respect that they should, especially, like, specifically in South Africa. Because I feel like the industry, when it comes to that specifically, is still very narrow. Like, it's still very narrow. You look at abroad, everybody eats. Like, everybody. You can get the same of everything. Two people doing the same thing, but they're both winning. You know what I mean? And they're out there, like, you know, they appreciate the names, are renowned and whatnot. But I still feel like South Africa, like, we need to push boundaries even further. You know? So I'm glad, like, with what I've been doing, like, you know, I feel like I've separated myself. I think at the same time, as a vocalist, is how bad you want it, how bad you want to separate. Because I've seen other vocalists, they target, most vocalists, they target a renowned DJ. To work with. And then they have this one big hit song with the DJ, but it's still the DJ. So after that, it sinks. It's like, where's this person?
What are you gonna do after that? How
what are
you
you gonna do?
sustain
Are
it?
you gonna as a standalone? Like, you know what I mean? How are you going to separate yourself? So what I really like about my strategy and my way about it, I didn't look to work with names that are out there. I trusted my craft enough to say, hey, this is me. I didn't depend on a big DJ name for my music to be heard. Like, no. Like, I've worked with people that nobody knows. Like, but the sound still got out there.
Yeah,
Like, the sound still got out there.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
because sometimes you might get lost in the noise.
yes.
When people say it's DJ who and who.
Exactly.
The part where it says featuring, some people don't pay attention to it.
They don't.
They're just like, okay,
they don't.
this is a DJ.
Yeah, so you're already shooting yourself in the foot by saying, I want to work with big names only and whatnot, because you're going to be overshadowed anyway.
Exactly.
Like, you are overshadowed. You overshadowed because somebody is getting all the limelights. You know, so we can't be crying as well. So I think we need to rethink how we position ourselves as vocalists ourselves. If you want your name to be respected and appreciated as a standalone, do something different, do something unique. I don't mind working with renowned names. I don't mind, but that's not my core. That's not my priority. Like, you know what I mean? I trust myself so much that I can do like music with somebody nobody knows, but it can still, get the mileage.
And what would you say with the house scene, the music scene, currently in SA? What's your take? Are we improving? Are we going backwards?
This is my personal point of view when it comes to the house scene specifically. South African house music is basically the benchmark, right, for the world to gauge what sounds to go for. Like, I feel like we are the hub, when it comes to house music. Like, production is amazing. People from abroad, they listen to what South Africa is producing to then formulate their own sounds and whatnot. Like, so I feel like we are leading in that sense. In terms of the support, house heads do not support. House heads go to Fagaza. House heads are the biggest pirators. House heads, I'm not lying. I know a lot of house heads are gonna watch this. And they know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Like, there's groups that they have on WhatsApp where they just send music like this.
What?
I'm telling you, like songs leak. House heads, like, they don't go out their way to go and buy music. And I'm not saying everyone. There are those legitimate ones that will say, you know what, but this is good, I'm buying it.
Yes.
But majority, I'm talking about majority, like, it's bad. It's bad in terms of that. Yeah. So
and how can that be fixed? Because that also touches on, like you said, the Fagaza issue. At the end of the day, you guys as stakeholders, right? I'll say, you can't keep on pumping in your talents, your resources, and everything, and at the end of the day, there's not only you're not getting what's due, but you are practically going backwards.
We're running an NGO.
Yeah. So what can be done? Is it education for the public?
It's a tough one. I was actually going to say, I would say we need to educate. Like, we need to bring it. There needs to be like maybe a documentary that shows like what we go through. Like, we need to go and show like a legend that has fallen to say, look at this person. This person is supposed to be a legend in the game, but look at how they are. Like, you know what I mean? This is what contributed to that. You know what I mean? We need to educate and bring it to people's faces, man. Like, and show them the impact that it has on us, because like, there's this notion that we live the glitz and glam life. It's all lavish and whatnot. There's no such. Like, we are suffering. Like, we're struggling. Like, we're struggling. There is no such. How are we going to actually be living that life if everything leaks, everything fluctuates on WhatsApp? There's no value like in that.
And I think education more on top of if you like something. Right. If I like that stand there. I like the phone. Right. Surely, if I want it, I'll pay.
You have to buy it.
Right. So, and I think there was a thought process where people thought, well, I'm using my data. You know, so I'm already paying for we are
We don't
understand
get
this.
paid in data.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Vodacom doesn't
Don't
pay
get
you.
paid. Yeah, Vodacom is not gonna say, okay, your song from your song. These many people use their data, so you get this much. No, you're giving Vodacom. It's Vodacom. Not me. Doesn't
But
come to
I'm
me.
just saying that some people do think like that, and
I know.
there
you're
has
right.
to be that differentiation.
I've actually seen that. I've heard that. What you were saying.
Yeah.
I've heard people thinking just because they use their data, they paid for it. No,
Yeah.
you got it for free. You got it for free.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's next for Mr. Mo? I've been fortunate enough to listen to a few of your stuff.
Yeah.
While we preparing for this interview.
Yeah.
But what's next? What are you cooking? What's next for you?
Well, true. Oh, yeah. There's so much music coming. There's so much. I've recorded a whole new album. Yeah. Because a lot of people know that my debut album, Destiny, was released around 2015, 2016. The hard copies came out in 2016.
Yeah.
But digitally, it was released in 2015. So then I moved to establish my own label, SA Records, and then I started releasing music, singles like Wena Fela, the songs I did with Ekotov, who now goes by Fumani. I've been releasing singles and visuals on TV and whatnot. So I actually have a full project coming.
Oh wow!
But I will not drop it. I'm dropping a couple of more singles.
Okay.
Like my current single, The Way You Move It, I haven't shot a video for it as well because of the pandemic and the restrictions and whatnot. So I couldn't shoot because we wanted a parts where there's a lot of people, and with the restrictions, we just couldn't do that. It was too much of a risk. So there's visuals coming for that, for the song. And then I'll be dropping more music, more hot songs with visuals as well. And I was supposed to actually do a tour in the UK, which got cancelled because
of course, restrictions.
So I will be doing more tours as well. Yeah.
So
I've been recording more music. So like I can, in summary, because some of the things I can't really name them. There's a lot on the list that I can say, but people can just expect the brand to elevate. Yeah.
So if I put you on the spot, can we expect something within the next month?
Yes, definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Within the next month, there'll be probably 2 songs.
Yeah.
That will be released.
That'll be released. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I recorded a song with a vocalist, songwriter by the name of Duma.
Yes.
I recorded a song with him. So people, I really believe in his talent. He's very good. I've actually posted a couple of clips of him, and people really love his voice and stuff.
Yeah.
So I did a song with him as well.
All right.
So people can expect a brand new song by me, featuring Duma. It's produced by Fumani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also within the next month. I'm sorry,
I
man.
will not.
I want to put you on the spot because look, man, we are hungry for new up and coming people. We are hungry for different. Can't say totally different sound, but different perspective on things. So okay, we'll just leave it at look out for it.
Look out for it.
Look out for it.
I see what you're doing.
All right, okay. And in terms of where people can actually find your material that's out, you spoke about Destiny, which was released in 2015.
Destiny sold out in stores. Sold out. Stores
wow.
are sold out.
That's the hard copies, right?
The hard copies are sold, but it's still available digitally on all digital platforms. So my music is basically everywhere. Tidal, Deezer, iTunes, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Google Play, Amazon, everywhere. You just type Mr. Mo, voila.
All right. And in terms of people reaching out to you, maybe there's someone who's listening now and say, here's a young cat with a young record company. I wanna talk to him. Where do they find you on that?
Hit me up in the DMs, Mr. Mo Music. Mr. Mo Music. You'll see my booking agents details are on my social media as well. If you go to Mr. Mo Music with the K at the end, hit up my booking agent. Like the details are there.
Yeah,
And just
So that will
holla
be
at the team.
Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah, across
Facebook.
all socials, Mr Mo Music,
Mo Music.
MRMOMUSIK. Yeah,
All right, and then last message for your fans.
I love you guys.
Love you guys.
And thank you for the continuous support.
Yeah.
Because I released the song during a whole lockdown, level 5.
Yes.
I released The Way You Move It, and people, I don't know, for some weird reason, that song received a lot of love.
Yeah.
And thank you to the radio stations that are actually playing my music. Shout out to actually Metro FM, Lesedi FM, Umhlobo Wenene, Motsweding, Phala Phala. Oh my God! Like, if I forgot a radio station, forgive me.
Yeah.
I know a lot of stations gave that song so much love.
Yes.
I actually wished I could have. I've never performed the song live because there hasn't been any shows in terms of live TV or live festival and whatnot.
Yes, of course.
Like, you know, but I've performed it online with the online shows that we did and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I look forward to like actually hitting the stage again since everything is open up again to perform the song. But I just want to like thank everybody that's just been supporting my brand.
Yeah.
You know, I have loyal people that like follow my brand, and like to me, I appreciate that.
All right.
Because it's the people that make it.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, thanks for coming through, Mr. Mo. Look out for Mr. Mo on all your socials, Mr. Mo Music.
Yeah.
Please, guys, let's support. Let's get the music. He's promised on the podcast that he's gonna drop at least 2.
Definitely.
Yeah, at least 2 singles within the next month. So we're gonna look out for that. And yeah, man, all the best. And thank you for coming through.
Thank you so much, man. This has been lovely.
All right.
I'm loving it.
Okay. All right. Cheers, man. Cheers.